we do a little bit more tapping around fear. I think there's a fair bit floating around on the airwaves at the moment, and it won't do any harm to revisit it. One of the things that happens when we're in a really challenging situation, whether it's personal or global, as in this occasion, it can feel as though that's all there is. It can be hard to imagine that it's ever going to change or that there's an end to it. And so I'd like to use some tapping today to help to try and get the anxiety levels down a little bit so that the clarity can come through and a bit more trust can come through instead, which can feel much more comfortable. When anxiety is up, our logical, rational thinking goes down, and so we want to try and keep some sort of balance and stability there rather than the anxiety just taking over completely. So we're going to do some parts tapping today where we're going to acknowledge that we have the fear, because if we try and suppress it, stuff it down, it just comes back, it bounces back at some time. And after all, our fear is trying to keep us safe. The fear part of us is convinced that we're in some immediate danger and wants us to totally focus on that. The truth of it is that you're almost certainly not in immediate danger, but we can thank that part of us that's trying to keep us safe and just has a slightly unhelpful agenda as to how it goes about that. And we can welcome in the part of us that's got a bit more of a bigger picture, using more of the low. So just tapping along with me, tune in before we start and see what your level of anxiety is right now. Noticing what you're feeling in your body and what comes up for you emotionally as well. We'll give it a score where 10 is your stress level's as high as it could be and 0 is there's none whatsoever, you're completely relaxed. And let's start tapping. Okay, so just tapping along with me and repeating after me what I say. I'll just move this a bit so you can see my hands a bit more readily. Even though there's a part of me that feels really anxious with all this uncertainty and sometimes feels overwhelmed by it, there's another part of me that knows that this too shall pass, and I accept both parts. Even though there's a part of me that gets really anxious sometimes and worries about what's going to happen and all the uncertainty and change, there's another part of me that knows that one day this will be over. And things might not be the same again, but they'll be much more settled and stable. And that day will come. And I accept both parts. Even though there's a part of me that feels stressed and anxious or frustrated and irritated or angry because of all the changes at the moment, and it all seems too much. And it seems as though it'll be like this forever, that this is how life is now. And it's just going to go on and on and on. There's another part of me that knows that this will pass. It will all settle down one day. And I acknowledge both parts. Part of me is afraid this will go on forever. It feels never ending. The uncertainty, the unpredictability, the change, not knowing what the future might bring, not knowing what tomorrow might bring. And sometimes this feels consuming. and overwhelming. But there's another part of me that knows this is not forever. We are not going to be dealing with this virus forever. We're not going to be isolating forever. We're not having to homestay forever. This is something that's happening right now. It's a period that we're having to go through. And it gets a bit rocky at times. And other times I feel as though I'm adjusting. And I really like to remember that this will pass. That the time will come when we can have more connection with others physically. That we can leave our homes more. That we can feel safer and have more stability. But sometimes I feel the fear. And sometimes I feel the faith that this too shall pass. And then I feel the fear again. And that's okay. This fear is trying to keep me safe. It thinks it needs to keep me on guard so that I will be safe. Sometimes it overdoes it. And then it feels as though this fear is all there is. And that it will last forever. And as I acknowledge the fear, I also allow it to move through me. As I remember that this time will pass. It's not going to be like this forever. And there are a lot of people doing the best they can to make the situation better as quickly as possible. That we all want the same thing. To be safe and happy and mixing freely with others. And that time is coming. Every day that time is getting closer. And in the meantime, what if it's okay for me to relax and do what I can to make the best of this time, to make the best of time at home, to make the best of slowing down and having more space. What if in the meantime, until this period has passed, I do what I can to take care of myself, to keep myself calm and relaxed, knowing that in doing that, not only do I benefit myself, but also those around me. And reaching to trust that right now all is well in heart, mind, body, and spirit. Taking a deep breath. Hope that helps you to feel a bit better. Thank you for being with me. Take care. Bye for now.